It is one big mystery Coloradans have been talking about this week. Drones spotted flying over rural towns on our eastern plains.
There are now several investigations underway, including by local authorities and the FAA. Now, for now, nobody knows where these drones are coming from, and if they do, they're not telling. We've been getting hundreds of comments, pictures, and in video into our newsroom from people claiming to have seen the drones. It's enough of a concern Governor Polis is getting involved. He told us today, while it remains a mystery who is flying these drones and why, it's certain that they have caused a bit of a stir. And I want to get to the bottom of it and make sure no person or property is at risk.
CBS 4's Michael Abeda went drone hunting out east last night. Michael, people just want some answers.
Karen, these drones appearing at night have people all over Colorado talking, including the governor. Experts are looking into what's going on, and so are ordinary Coloradans.
It's just odd. It kind of reminds me of War of the Worlds.
People living in northeastern Colorado, like Michelle Eckhoff, have seen drones flying at night since mid-December.
It would rest easy on us if we knew just who was doing it and that we were safe.
The FAA is investigating but won't comment. Local law enforcement is also looking into it with the Office of Emergency Management.
Right now, we have not identified any discernible criminal incident or criminal activity related to these flies at night.
That's not to say they aren't taking the matter seriously.
If our residents here in Colorado are concerned, we're concerned. So we're trying to make sure that we have a good idea of what's occurring.
Drone enthusiast Kerry Garrison is also trying to get to the bottom of this. He says drones can fly at night with permission, but he wants to make sure people can spot the difference between drones and celestial bodies.
We have extremely clear skies that are causing space objects such as satellites and rocket boosters and other objects that are up there to be very, very visible.
He also says planes can be mistaken for drones. The difference? Drones are required to have one strobe light, while planes have more.
Typically they're white strobes, but there's no rule that says it has to be white.
He thinks with knowledge and eyes in the sky, he and the people of Colorado can figure out what's going on.
If there is something that we cannot explain, then we hope to get video or photo of it to prove or disprove that there are drones or not out there.
Now, local law enforcement is having a meeting with their federal counterparts that are investigating this. That will be on January 6th to discuss what's going on. That meeting is not open to the public or to the press. One important takeaway from all this is that if you see a drone, do not shoot at it. It is illegal and you could cause a fire when you hit the battery. At DIA, Michael Aveta, covering Colorado First.
At this United